before. That was true.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello everyone. Namaskar. Welcome again. Welcome. Yes. Today I'm with David. Oh. Yeah. We have many stories to share, many things, many different topics. And David has a lot of achievements. Maybe we need a full session. In last like a couple of weeks, he did a lot. And many of you know that when we were there in Mumbai, India, many challenges he had, and now he has many achievements, big transformation. We will organize and we will plan one special session about. Good. Today, as you all know, is a special session. Today we will have the revision of everything until now we discussed and we have gone through from the beginning until now, which includes the dosas, dhatus, all different like diet charts plus dincharya, daily routines, seasonal routines. Everything we will discuss in the maybe we will skip some of the case studies which we had discussed previously. No need to repeat the same stories again, but we will go through the contents. Maybe by revision, by listening the same thing again, we can have the more deeper clarity. If by any chance, if we have missed something in the previous session, we can cover it. So in today's session, we will go through everything, and then if any questions, we can have like a more time today for the questions to discuss and ask and understand. And yeah, I invite Dr. Komal, please.
Yes. Namaste everyone and good evening. So we are here to learn about the revision session. So it's already been 6 months that we have started in January, and time has flied so fast. It has moved so fast that we are here for the revision lecture before the vacations. So yes, today everyone will, whoever has missed by some way the lecture or something, the session, so we will revise everything. So it will be a quite good session. So yes, so we will start with the session. So before that, we will do the prayers to Lord Dhanvantari. So I will just recite the prayer. धन्वन्तरे गरुचि धन्वन्तरे ऋतरु धन्वन्तरी भवसुधा भान्वन्तरावसतमन्वन्तराधिकृत तन्वन्तरौषधनिधे धन्वन्तरङ्ग शुभ धन्वन्तमादिषु अवितन्वमाब्दितनया सुन्वन्तकात्मरुद तन्वन्तरावयव तन्वन्तरात्रिजलधौ ॐ चन्द्रौघकार्तिममृतात्मकरै जगन्ति सञ्जीवयन्तममितात्मसुखं परेशम् ज्ञानं सुधाकलशमेव च सन्दधानं शीतांशुमण्डलगतं स्मरतात्मसंस्थान् अज्ञानदुःखभयरोगमहाविषाणि योगो यमाशु विनिहन्ति सुखं च दद्यात् यन्मादविभ्रमहर परतश्च सान्द्र स्वानन्दमेव पदमापयति स्म नित्यम् ॐ श्री धन्वन्तरये नमः. Yes. So with that, seeking blessings of Lord Dhanvantari, the great masters, Siddha Veda lineage, Baba Ramdas ji, Pankaj sir, Smita madam, all the great masters, my Guru, Sadguru Veena Bharti Maharaj, and all of you, because without all of you, this course, these sessions would not have been possible. So I bow down in front of all of you, and with that, we start our today's session. Yes. So everybody, just recollect whatever we have learned since January till now. So the first topic was about the body elements, the dosh, then the body tissues, the dhatu, the body constitution, that is the prakriti, which is a very essential part of, diagnosing or knowing things to remain healthy. Then the fire, that is the digestive fire, the agni, the toxins, that is the arm, then the oj and immunity. Ojas means the immune system. Then the three components of the mind, that is the three gunas, sattva, raja and tama. Then three types of body waste, that is three mala, that is purisha, mutra and svet. Principle of uniformity, that is the samanya siddhanta. Principle of non-uniformity, the vishesha siddhanta. Next slide, please. Also, the suppressible urges, the non-suppressible urges, principles of Ayurveda and Siddhaveda dietetics, diet for imbalanced Vata dosh, the diet for imbalanced Pitta dosh, diet for imbalanced Kapha dosh. Then the Swastha Vritta, code of good conduct, which we call as Sadvritta, the daily regimen, that is the Dinacharya, and seasonal regimen, that is the Ritucharya. So we will start with the revision. Yes. So here is a slide which describes us about knowing, doing, and being. So this has been discussed a lot of times. First step to learn any science or anything is to know about that science thoroughly. So to understand, to listen, to read, and to know whatever is there present in that science. So it requires thinking, information, and more information. Wherever you have now learned about the sessions from here, the study material, the lectures, everything, in all the meetings and all the case descriptions, everybody has known everything. So that is the part of knowing. Then comes the another part, which is actually doing. So we are not just restricting this to just know about this science of Ayurveda or Siddhaveda, but we want it to be applied in our practical lives to remain healthy as well as prevent the occurrence of various kinds of disorders. So the process of doing, and what an exemplary picture here, which represents the actual practical application in the first picture by the guru and the shishya, the master and the disciple. So actually knowing from him, and then he has applied it. And here also Smita madam actually practically applying the pulse reading principles in the lives of the different individuals. So doing requires will, performing, executing, and action. So that we are doing already, all of you are doing very great. You are seeing the pulse of different people. You're asking questions, helping people. So many people you are helping. So actually, you are also doing the actual process of doing. Then comes the third step, which is being. So again, this picture talks more. So being requires stillness, yielding, silence, listening, feeling, and understanding. This comes by great hard work, determination. So knowing, then doing, and being. This will require a little time, but by practice, everybody will achieve this stage of being. But before that, we have to remember that before being, there are two steps or stages, which is about knowing and then actually doing it. So every step has its own importance and it should be done in that way. And then the success is guaranteed. So everybody can become like these very great people. So yes, knowing, doing, and being. Yes, next slide, please. So now we will go towards the actual revision of the sessions, which is about first the 5 Mahabhut, that is the 5 elements. So we will revise it again. Everybody also, you can write it down or you can revise it in your mind. Akash, that is the space, ether, and its quality or its specific quality feature is characteristic feature of Akash, that is space. The element is sound. Then Vayu, that is air element, and its characteristic feature by which we can identify it, or the very characteristic identity or feature is touch, that is sparsha. Then Agni element, which is fire, and its feature is vision. Jala element, which we call as water, and its characteristic feature is taste. Then Prithvi Mahabhut, so it is earth element and its characteristic feature is smell. So these are the 5 elements. So you must remember this and the characteristic feature of all of these. And we can also, by just looking at the element space, suppose, so we can understand that space must be lighter. If we look at Prithvi, so by Prithvi, earth element, we get the we automatically know that it must be heavier. So like that, if it is Jala, Jala must be cool in property. It must be liquid in property. If it is fire, it must be hot in property. And air, air is mobile. Air is unstable. It's not in one place. It's always moving. So like that, we have to know about these 5 elements and we have to observe it in our own body as well as the body of the people whom we are observing, the clients that you will get or different people. You have to observe these 5 Mahabhutas in the nature as well as in the bodies of the people, ourselves and other people. Till now, we have just learned about what are these 5 Mahabhuta. So now we will go to a next step, doing, that is you observe these Mahabhutas in yourselves and other people. Then 3 dosha. So 3 means 3 and dosha means the 3 doshas, that is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So main function of Vata dosh is transportation, then also movement, speech, digestion, degeneration. Then main function of Pitta dosh is transformation, digestion, metabolism, imparting or giving color to the blood and skin. So these are the main functions. And then the main function of Kapha dosh is to support the various structures in the body as well as to support the overall body. And also lubrication between the joints, nourishment, digestion and taste. Here we can see that all the doshas, they are responsible for the digestion, but Pitta dosh is something which is mainly responsible or predominantly responsible. In order for the body to function, we require a balance of all the 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha doshas, but they have also been assigned special functions, which here we can see into the bracket. And the functions of Vata dosh, transportation, Pitta dosh, transformation, and of Kapha dosh, support. Next slide, please. Yeah, so types of Vata dosh, its sites, means its location and functions. So here we have studied already which are the 5 types of Vata dosh: Prana Vayu, Udana Vayu, Vyana Vayu, Samana Vayu, and Apana Vayu. We refer Vata dosh as Vayu also. So Prana Vayu, where it resides in the brain and heart. Then what are the functions? So the functions are respiration, then life, because if the pran goes away from the body, then a person cannot survive. So pranavayu is of utmost importance for the survival of life. Then oxygen, so respiration and the oxygen requirement is done by the pranavayu. Then the support to the mind functions and the functions of intellect. Then second is Udana Vayu. So Udana Vayu, it resides in the lungs, the throat, and the brain. Then its functions are speech. The initiation of speech is primarily a function of Udana Vayu. Involuntary movements, enthusiasm, and the function of memory. Then Vyana Vayu resides in the heart, and its functions are the different movements of the body are coordinated by Vyana Vayu. It also controls sweat. Then even the blinking of the eyes is a function of Vyana Vayu. So then next is Samana Vayu. It resides in the stomach, the small intestine, and large intestine, and its functions primarily are digestion, assimilation, and excretion of the waste products from the body. Then Apana Vayu, so it resides in the pelvis region, and its functions are the ejaculation of semen, stool, urine, fetus, and menses. So Apana Vayu is basically responsible for the expulsion or ejaculation of all these things. Next slide, please. Then we move towards the Pitta dosh. Again, we have to remember the 5 types of Pitta dosh, where it resides. And accordingly, when you find some disorder, disease, condition, then you can know according to the disease condition, wherever it is happening, which type of Vata dosh is affected, or which type of Pitta dosh is affected, or which type of Kapha dosh is affected. So here the first Pitta type is Sadhaka Pitta. So it resides in the brain, and its functions are intellect, memory, stamina, then maintains self-respect. Then Alochaka Pitta. So Alochaka Pitta resides in the eyes, and it is responsible for the vision, functions of vision, perception of light. Then the Bhrajaka Pitta, it is located in the skin. So its functions are to provide the complexion of the skin, the luster to the skin, and the digestion of external application, means the absorption of any external application, the cream, lotions, to absorb it and to take it to the deeper tissues. That is the function of Bhrajaka Pitta. Then Ranjak Pitta, it resides in the liver and spleen, and its function is to provide the red color to the blood and also to the bile pigments, the yellow color. Then the Pachak Pitta, so it is in the gastrointestinal tract, and Pachak Pitta is mainly responsible for digestion, and it works along with the digestive fire, assimilation of food and digesting it, and then giving strength to the body. Next slide, please. Now we move towards the Kapha dosh. Now these are again 5 types of Kapha dosh. Remember that there are 5 types of Vata, 5 types of Pitta, 5 types of Kapha. Now which are the 5 types of Kapha dosh here? Tarpaka Kapha. So it resides in the brain, And what are its functions? It protects and nourishes the brain and the different centers of the brain. Then bodhaka kapha, it resides in the mouth and tongue, and it is responsible for the, how do we know the different taste of the food that we eat? It is because of this bodhaka kapha. The bodhaka kapha resides in the mouth and tongue. That's why we understand that this food is sweet, this is sour. So that is the function of bodhaka kapha. And whenever we consume the food, whenever the morsel of food is consumed, to moisten the food and then to swallow it. So that is also the function of bodhak kapha, to moisten the food that we eat. Then avalambaka kapha, where it resides in the heart and lungs. So that's why it prevents the friction. Now kapha is snigdhana, kapha is having, it is oily, it is heavy, it is having moisture. So what this avalambak kapha will do, it prevents the friction between the heart and lungs, and it also covers it and protects it. Then kledak kapha. So kledak kapha it resides in the stomach and intestine, and again what it does, it also provides moisture to the food, bolus of food and digestion. So the overall process of swallowing the food and then digestion of the food, that is the function of kledaka kapha, because it resides in the stomach and intestine. And then the sleshaka kapha. Sleshaka kapha is found in the joints, the various joints. And this sleshaka kapha, as kapha is oily, it is having moisture. What it does, it protects and lubricates the joints, and it nourishes the bone ends. So because of sleshak kapha, there is no friction between the joints. When this sleshak kapha will reduce, then there will be some friction in the joints and there will be some disorders of the joints. So we have to learn about these types of vata, pitta, kapha, dosha in order to understand the different kinds of disorders very well. So it is necessary to remember these 5 types and their sites and functions. So in order to diagnose and treat different kinds of disorders. Next slide, please. Yes. Now we have studied about the doshas. Doshas are something that are the main pillars of the body. Now another main pillars are the 7 building blocks, that is the sapta dhatu. Sapta means 7 and dhatu means the tissues. So sapta dhatu means the 7 tissues. Here we can see the 7 tissues. The first is plasma. So that plasma we refer to as rasa dhatu. And what is its main function? Its main function is to provide nourishment to the body. Then the second tissue is blood, which is referred as rakta dhatu. And we all know the main function of blood is, again, a very main important function is the maintenance of life, then temperature, skin support. Then the third tissue is the muscular tissue, and it is referred to as mausa dhatu. Its main function is to cover the body. Fourth one is the adipose tissue, and it is called as the meda dhatu, and its main function is lubrication of the body and providing stability. Fifth one is the bone tissue. So its main function is to provide erect posture to the body. Without the bones, the body cannot be in an erect posture. Then the sixth one is the bone marrow and nervous tissue, which we refer as majja dhatu. So its function is filling the cavities of the bones, lubrication, responsible for strength, and helps in intellectual activities. The majja dhatu has a major role in also helping in the different intellectual capacities of the brain. Then the shukra dhatu, that is the 7th tissue, which is the generative tissue, including the semen and ovum. So its main function is reproduction, then providing mental strength and vitality to the body. So these 7 tissues are again the very important pillars of the body. After those, these are the 7 tissues that we must know, and the sequence should be in the same order. First the plasma, then the blood, then the muscular tissue, then the adipose tissue, then the bone tissue, then bone marrow and nervous tissue, and then the semen and ovum. Don't change the sequence. Then next slide, please. So now we move towards the Prakriti, the types of Prakriti. So there are total 7 types of Prakriti. The first one is only Vata Prakriti. Second is only Pitta Prakriti. Third is Kapha Prakriti. When we say Vata Prakriti, Pitta, that means Vata dominant. All the 3 doshas are present in everyone's body, but according to the predominance of the doshas, we refer to as Vata Prakriti, Pitta, Kapha, like that. Then Vata Pitta Prakriti. So here, what does it mean? So there is a predominance of both Vata and Pitta dosh. That's why the Prakriti is in this way. Then the next is Pitta Kapha Prakriti. Then Vata Kapha Prakriti. And the 7th one is Sama Prakriti, where we will find characteristics of all the 3 doshas in a similar manner or in a same proportion. Or it is a Sama Prakriti is something that is the best Prakriti, and it is very rare. We find generally the other Prakritis, but Sama Prakriti is very rare to find. Next slide, please. Now Vata Prakriti. Now, whenever you observe anyone or whenever you're meeting someone, now just try and apply this principle of Prakriti. Try to understand, by observing which this person belongs to which type of Prakriti or body constitution. With that practice, ultimately you can learn, and whenever the client comes to you, you can know instantly that this is this Prakriti after observing a number of people. So start doing that with your near and dear ones or anyone you meet. Start assessing the Prakriti in day-to-day life. So first one is Vata Prakriti. So as Vata is very light, it is very mobile. So these people are very active. They are always in action. They cannot sit in one place. How to assess the Vata Prakriti? If you find someone moving here and there and is very restless and cannot sit in one place, if you tell them to meditate or something, they cannot do it more than 5 minutes. So that is a Vata Prakriti. Then, but they are also very creative. Creative, and they come across with very good ideas. They have great ideas. And these people are easily enthused, but they get distracted in a short time. Means suppose you share something that this is a project that we need to do. So Vata Prakriti ones will be very enthusiastic initially. They will say, yes, we will do this, we will do that, and this, and you, after some next week or some days, maybe if you ask them, they may not be interested. So that is an instability, unstable nature, unpredictable nature. Then quick on update and also quick to forget. So actions are quick. So in understanding also quick, but quick to forget also. So this is a very characteristic feature of Vata Prakriti. They have delicate bone structure and they have very lean bodies, thin and lean bodies. They are bodies that do not carry much weight. They have dry and rough skin. The hands and feet, if you touch them, they are cold generally. And the appetite and digestion is variable. Their moods are also variable. Everything is variable and unstable. Then they like the sweet, sour and salty foods. Means if you ask them out of, the food items, which are the food items that they would like or prefer, they may say that it is sweet, sour, salty. It does not mean that Vata Prakriti persons will always like sweet, sour, salty, but in most of the times they would prefer to eat because it suits their body constitution. So these are the features of Vata Prakriti. Every Prakriti has its own importance. We must understand this because in our for the functioning of our lives and in our day-to-day lives also, and the functioning of this earth also, we require all these prakritis, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So we must understand that they all are equally very important. Then Pitta Prakriti. So how this Pitta Prakriti are? So Pitta is hot. So these people are very smart and intelligent. These people are extremely intelligent, and they have a very quick grasping and understanding of things. This also you can understand by observing different kinds of people. They are very ambitious. They want to do something in life, want to achieve so many things like that. Then full of energy and strength. So if you ask them at any time to do something, if they are interested, they will easily do it. They are also good leaders. They can lead very well, and also perfectionist. So they prefer to do all the work very nicely and perfectly in a very well organized manner. But at the same time, they also get angry quickly, or you may say that they may express their anger very fast, like that. Then they are very passionate about different things. Then they like to take challenges. They have the color of the hair is blonde. It is not black or something. It has a little blonde or reddish texture to it, tinge to it. But they suffer from premature graying. Why? Because Pitta is hot in nature. That's why there's premature graying of hair. And these people, they prefer to have the sweet and bitter flavors. So they may like or prefer these flavors other than the more than the other flavors. So this is about Pitta Prakriti. Next slide, please. Now Kapha Prakriti. So Kapha Prakriti ones are, you can see from the picture, the body is little heavy. They are on the heavier side of the weight, unlike Vata Prakriti. Okay, Vata Prakriti are the lean and thin ones. Kapha is the little heavier one. But these people, because Kapha is very stable in nature, we find that stability in the Kapha Prakriti also. So they are very emotional and also sensitive at the same time, because water element is there in them. Now water and earth is something that makes them grounded, and it gives this quality of emotional, sensitive. That's why they value inner peace, harmony, tranquility, because of the elements water and earth that the Kapha dosh is composed of. For Kapha Prakriti ones are like this. They enjoy the little things in life. What does that mean? So they do not require some very big event to happen so that they can get happy, but by the small little things in life also they derive their happiness. They are easily pleased. Like we can say, the Kapha Prakriti ones are very contented. They have very satisfied and contented with whatever they have. That's why they are happy people. And they seem to be slow and ponderous, but they have exceptional endurance and strength. By looking at them, you may feel that they are very slow, but Kapha ones are the ones, if they take some task to do, they will complete it no matter what. They will complete it and do it very nicely till the end. Like Vata Prakriti we saw, they may take it with great enthusiasm, but they may or may not complete it. But Kapha ones are, they may start slow, but once they have taken it, they will do it very nicely. Then these people have patience also. Again, the water and earth element gives them a lot of patience. They are stable in their partnership and loyal in their friendship, but mostly overweight. So these are the characteristic features of these three Prakriti that we must keep in mind and start observing the different people around us in terms of this Prakriti, so that we will learn it in a better way. Next slide, please. Now we move towards the digestive fire, which we call as Jathar Agni. So, based on its nature, the Jathar Agni or the digestive fire is of 4 types. Here the 4 columns are given. First one is the balanced fire. Balanced fire is the ideal state. We want this, everybody should have a balanced fire in order to remain healthy. So that is uninfluenced by the doshas. It digests the food properly, it maintains the health, and if it is a the balanced fire should be maintained by following the proper diet and lifestyle. Then second one is the increased fire. Increased fire means it is very we can say, yeah, increased, so sharp, it is very sharp, so sharp fire. And why it is like that? Due to the predominance of pitta dosh. It digests the food too quickly, because pitta dosh is there. Pitta dosh is hot in nature, that's why it will add that heat to the digestive fire also. That's why the food will be digested very quickly. Then the remedy would be for this increased fire. Those who have this increased fire, we can suggest them to have good amount of nutritious and heavy food. Like they should eat heavy food, because someone who has increased fire, if you give them light food or food that digests easily, then that's not advisable. That's not good for those people. So those who have increased fire should be given heavy food, so that the increased fire remains like that and it gets some food for some time. So heavy food, like it's given here, buffalo milk, dairy products, and also detoxification should be done in this case to make it a balanced fire. Then the decreased fire. So decreased fire means the mild fire, and it is because of the predominance of kapha dosh. Kapha dosh makes the fire low. Why? Because kapha dosh is cool, and that's why it makes the fire mild. So this digests food very slowly. Unlike the increased fire, the decreased fire will be, the digestion will be very slow, and it will result in the production of armor. So decreased fire is not very good for the health, because it produces different kinds of toxins, that is armor dosh in the body. So if someone has this decreased fire, so the remedy would be to do fasting, very good. Then arm pachan. Arm pachan, how we do? It will be done by different kinds of herbs. Then detoxification process. Detoxification means the different kinds of panchakarma therapies, or the siddha massage, dry pinda sweat, everything that will lead to the digestion of the toxins. Then the fourth one is the variable fire. So it is the variable word is there, it is like that only, it is very irregular. Sometimes it may be increased, sometimes it may be decreased. Why? Because there is a predominance of vata dosh. As I told you, vata dosh is unstable, so it will make the fire also like that. That's why sometimes the food will be digested quickly, sometimes it may be digested slowly. There may not be any stability or uniformity because of the predominance of vata dosh. And what is the remedy for this? Is to have smaller meals. So whatever meals are there, we can divide it. Suppose a person has 2 meals on a daily basis. So if he has 2 meals, we can make it 1 and 1 like that. So it's divided. And then detoxification therapies and basti treatment, because basti is very ideal for the vata dosh. So this is about the digestive fire. Next slide, please. Then the signs of armor dosh, that is toxins in the body. What is armor? So armor dosh means the toxins in the body. How we know that? So there is heaviness in the body. A person coming to you and complaining that there is heaviness in the body is the first sign that there are a lot of toxins or armor dosh present in the body of that individual. Lack of enthusiasm. He may say that I have lost, I cannot focus on my work, I have lost interest. Second sign. Then impairment of strength, complexion, and stamina. Then distension and abnormal movement of vat in the abdomen. So people complain of bloating and everything. So that is a classical sign of toxins in the body. Then because of that, the quality and quantity of life is affected. causing impairment of long life, the impairment of strength, and also the impairment of the ojas, that is the immune system. And because the immune system is affected, then the body becomes prone to different kinds of infections. Then this another sign is it is fatal for body, mind, intellect, and senses. So the armor toxins is not only present in the physical body, but also in the mental, emotional, everywhere. So it hampers the health in all the aspects. Then impairment of purity of dhatus, the tissues, whatever we have talked about, the 7 tissues, they also become impaired. Then because of these toxins present in the body, if they are not treated at the earliest or at the right time, then they lead to the progress ahead, and gradually they develop all kinds of vata, pitta, and kapha disorders. So the main cause of all the disorders, whether it is vata, whether it is pitta, whether it is kapha, the main causative factor is ama dosh, that is toxins. That's why whenever we do panchakarma also, the first thing we do is siddha massage, dry pinda svet, so that we we remove the toxins from the body, like that. Then health challenges due to blockages in metabolism and digestion. So any blockage or any disorder in the metabolism, low metabolism or something, and also any impairment in digestion is also the sign of ama dosh. Any client coming to you, you should observe all these signs also to know whether the ama dosh is present in the body, and correlate it with the pulse of ama that we have learned, ama pulse, and correlate these symptoms also with along with that pulse, so you get a better diagnosis. Next slide, please. Now we move towards ojas, that is immunity, a very important foundation to remain healthy. Oja, it is produced in the heart, and a person can die if oja is destroyed. So now this oja is again another very important pillar of the body in order to remain healthy and in order to fight against various kinds of infections. So this oja can also be decreased in the body. And what are the reasons behind that? So here we can see in the slide, excessive strenuous exercise. So exercise has to be done in a very scientific way, according suiting to the body constitution. So if someone does excessive strenuous exercise, then also the oja may get decreased. Then fasting for long hours. So fasting also, there are some principles of doing fasting. Again, it has to be done according to the digestive fire that the individual has and according to the body constitution. So fasting for long hours is not at all good for the health. Eating very little amounts of food, dieting in the wrong way, so that also decreases the oj in the body. Then excessive consumption of dry food. If someone wants to lose weight, and if he starts eating very little amount of food and starts consuming fat free or oilless food and eats excessive amount of dry food, it is going to affect the oj in the body, and it will make the body prone to different kinds of infections. That's why everything has to be done in the scientific manner, which we have already discussed in all the sessions. Excessive fear, excessive anxiety, grief. See, these are also the things that decrease the oj in the body. And these are also the signs, like if in somebody's body, if the oj is decreased, then we will find the person getting more fearful, getting, suffering from anxiety, suffering from depression. So again, that is also a sign that the oj has gone down, immunity has gone down. Lack of sleep, excessive exposure to wind and sun, excessive discharge of mucus, blood, semen from the body. Excessive means more than the normal. Injury to the body and mind. So these all factors are responsible for the decrease of oja, that is immunity in the body. Now what this decrease in oja will do, it will affect the mental abilities. Then it leads to fear, worry, depression, abnormal bodily functions, disorder of sensory organs, lack of skin luster. By looking at a person also, we can know about the status of oja or immunity in his body. Irritability, anger, flawed complexion. Flawed complexion means the normal complexion, whatever was there, it has become now, it has been hampered. So that is the flawed complexion. And susceptibility to disorders. Understand this, when the immunity goes down, what happens is the body is prone to different kinds of infections. Next slide, please. So now we move towards the another point of three guna. I hope I'm not going too fast, but this is just a revision lecture. So three guna, attributes of the mind. So what are these three guna? That is the three gunas. Three means three and guna means quality. So sattva, raja and tama. Sattva is responsible for the intelligence, compassion, insight and wisdom, and enlightened minds. Then the Raja is responsible for the energy of the body, movement of the body. So whatever actions in our day-to-day lives we are doing, or whatever movements we are doing, that are all because of this Raja Gun. If the Raja Gun was not there, the movement would not have been possible. So Raja is the one who gives the initiation to do different kinds of activities. Sattva tells us about what activities should be done, what right and wrong, everything that is decided by the Sattva. But after we have decided that this is the right thing to do, we also need to act upon it, and Raja Gun does that. The actual process of doing is done by the Raja Guna. Then passion, pleasure seekers, to enjoy the different things of life, that is also an attribute of Raja Guna. And then there is the Tama Guna. So we require to control the movements also. Otherwise the movements will go on and on and on throughout the life. So there needs to be a control. So this Tama is the one who controls the different kinds of movement, who ends the different kinds of movement. So ignorance, heaviness, lack of enthusiasm, more sleep, scared and confused. Actually, so whenever someone has decided that this is the right thing to do, this is right, that is the attribute of Sattva Gun, then Raja Gun will help that person to actually do that activity, And when Tama Gun, what it will do, the Tama Gun will help that person to now stop the activity and take rest, now sleep. So whenever we go to sleep every night, that is because of the Tama Gun. If Tama Gun was not there, then everybody would have continued doing all the activities throughout the life. But because Tama Gun is there, that's why there is a balance. So again, Sattva, Raja and Tama, they help to balance the bodily, mindly activities. We require all the three, but there should be always a predominance of Sattva. Okay, next slide, please. Now we move towards Trimala. So see, group of three. There are so many group of three. So there was the three doshas, then there was these three gunas, and now there is the Trimala. Again, three types of body waste. Which are they? Feces, urine, and sweat. Now feces, main function is maintenance of the strength of the body and removing the solid toxins from the body. Then if first we will see the main functions. So urine main function is elimination of moisture, that is the water content of the body, and removal of liquid toxins. And what's the function of sweat is? Retention of moisture, removing the again toxins, moistens the skin, and prevents different kinds of skin disorders. So these are the main functions. Now we know that we have learned about Vriddhi and Kshaya. Again, I will repeat what is Vriddhi. Vriddhi is the excess, that is the increase above the normal. Whenever something increases above the normal, it becomes excessive. It also leads to different kinds of disorders, which we called as Vriddhi or excess. And whenever something decreases below the normal, then we call it as Kshaya, that is loss. Both Vriddhi and Kshaya, they lead to different kinds of disorders. And what we seek, what we should be seeking is the balanced state of the feces, urine, and sweat. So now, if there is Vriddhi or excess of feces, what will happen? There will be enlargement of abdomen, gurgling noise from the abdomen, and heaviness of the abdomen. These are the features of the Vriddhi or excess amount of feces when it happens in the body. If there is the Kshaya or excessive loss of feces in the body, the feces are not produced in a proper quantity in the body, then what will happen? There will be movement of air inside the intestine accompanied by gurgling noise, severe discomfort that may even be felt in the region of heart and flanks. Then we move towards the urine. If there is Vriddhi or excessive increase of urine, then there will be severe pain in the bladder, feeling of non-elimination even after elimination. And if there is Kshaya or loss of urine, then there will be scanty urine, dysuria, and there will be urine mixed in the color of red or mixed along with blood. So these are the symptoms. Then sweat. So when the sweat, there is excessive increase of sweat in the body, it will lead to excess of perspiration, foul smell of the body, and weakness. And when there will be Kshaya or loss of sweat, there may be hair loss, stiffness of hair, cracking of skin problems. So whenever now, next time, if you observe in a client that the client is suffering from, suppose, for example, I am giving dysuria. So think about urine Kshaya or loss of urine also. Somebody who is suffering from foul smell of the body, then think about what you will think about: the sweat Vriddhi or excessive sweat. Suppose someone is suffering from, say, example, skin problems. So there may be the Kshaya or loss of sweat. All these principles you must apply in all the clients step by step. First think about dosha, then think about tissue, then think about the trimala, then the sattva, raja, tama. Next slide, please. Now we move towards the Swastha Vritta part. So in Swastha Vritta, Acharya Charak has explained in Charaka Samhita, there are 4 Chatushkas. Here you can see Swastha Chatushka, 4 health components that are required to remain healthy. Which are they? The first one is Na Vegana Dharaniya. That is first a pillar, we can say, first component is about suppressible and non-suppressible urges. Second is Sadvritta, that is the following the code of conduct. Third is Dinacharya, that is the daily regimen. Then the Ritucharya, that is the seasonal regimen. We have studied all these 4. So in order to remain healthy, these are the 4 health components. Everybody must know. Next slide, please. Now first we learn about the suppressible urges. We have discussed this in detail. So first is greed, that is lobha, grief, that is shoka, fear, that is bhaya, anger, that is krodha, vanity, that is mana. Vanity, you can say, you know, excessive of ego. Shamelessness, nirlajja. Envy, that is matsarya. And attachment, excessive attachment, we can say, that is raga. So these are the urges that need to be suppressed, or we had discussed about this, about the healthy expression of these urges. That healthy expression which will not affect the people around us. That was discussed in our session when we have discussed this. Next slide, please. So the non-suppressible urges. So human body is, we know that it is a complex system, but a wonderful one, which has a number of ways to balance or eliminate the materials which could be harmful to the body. And for this purpose, we have these urges, these 13 urges. So this should not be suppressed. That's why they are called as non-suppressible urges. So someone who tries to suppress these urges, it may affect or vitiate the Vata dosh and lead to several kinds of disorders. So which are these non-suppressible urges? First is flatus, that is adhovad. Second is feces, purisha. Third is urine, that is mutra. Then fourth is sneezing, that is kshavathu. Fifth is thirst, that is trishna. Sixth is hunger, kshudha. Seventh is sleep, nidra. Eighth is cough, kas. Ninth is breathing on exertion, shrama shwas. 10th one is yawning, that is jumbha. 11th one is tears, weeping, that is ashru. 12th is vomiting, that is chardi. 13th is semen, that is shukra. These are the urges that should not be suppressed. Whenever you meet any client, ask these things to that person, whether there is suppression of these urges. It may be due to some kind of professions, or some maybe too busy in the work, or because of that people suppress these urges, and it is also one of the cause of different kinds of disorders. So observe these non-suppressible urges in different clients that you observe. Next slide, please. Now, general treatment for health problems caused by non-suppressible urges. So first one is to balance the aggravated doshas. Now you have, suppose for example, you have asked one client and you have found that he is suppressing the non-suppressible urges. So what is the treatment then? How you will proceed further? First, balance the aggravated doshas. Whatever dosh is aggravated, balance it. Then correct the movement of vata dosh. Then hot fermentation with the different therapies, necessary therapies. Oil use internally and externally according to the conditions. Detoxification procedures if needed, and restoring equilibrium of the body. Balance the dosha, the dhatu and the malas. The dosha, the tissues and the waste products, the three things. And rejuvenation. Rejuvenation can be achieved by the herbs, or the detox, or even counseling, speaking very nicely to the people, that can also rejuvenate anyone. So all these things help. Next slide, please. Now we will move towards the principles of dietetics. Now, food taken in proper quantity, we all know that it is responsible for the strength of the body, good complexion, and it is the secret to a happy life. There are many secrets, there are many books where the secret to happy life are described, but the most important secret is food, that is the diet, which is responsible for the happiness of a person. So one should consume the right quantity of food. The quantity of food depends upon the power of digestion. The right amount of food is, what is the right amount of food? Right amount of food is that which is easily digestible by that particular individual. Whatever digestive fire he is having, he is digesting it properly. that will be the right quantity for him. So we cannot standardize the right quantity of food, that this is the food that should be taken in lunch, this much quantity for everyone. It is not like that, because everybody has different digestive fire. That's why the digestion capacity will be different. That's why in Ayurveda we do not standardize the quantity of food. So here we see the heavy food, hard to digest food. It should be taken, of course, until half of the say, half of the level, where we feel satisfied. Then easy to digest food like moong millet, it should not be, it should also not be overly eaten. So these are the principles of dietetics. Next slide, please. Now, again, a very important principle is Trividha Kukshi. See in the diagram, there are three compartments. Okay, so here we can see one portion of that, this space should be for the solid food items. See in the one in the yellow color. Then one portion of the space for liquid food items, it's given, and one portion of the space for the free movement of the three doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So we have to keep this principle in mind and then consume the food. So one portion of the stomach should be kept empty for the movement of doshas. So there will be, so many of the disorders will be avoided. But if someone fills all these three portions with the solid and liquid food, then there will be number of disorders like indigestion, bloating, and many more disorders, stomach pain, acidity, and many more. So this principle will help to prevent the different kinds of disorders. Just keep in mind, three compartments. Out of that, one compartment is to be kept empty. The other one is for solid food. The other one is for liquid food. Very easy to remember. Next slide, please. Now, 8 specific factors of dietetics. First one is nature of food. That is the prakriti of food. Food also has prakriti. Like we individuals have prakriti. Remember that food also has prakriti. What is the prakriti of food? In terms of the quality, whether it is heavy, whether it is light, whether it is cold, whether it is hot, like that. Then processing of the food items, the way in which it is cooked, that is current, whether it is boiled, whether it is fried, like that. Combination of food items. So whenever we eat food, there are always 2 to 4 food items in our plate. So the combination of food items, that is also important. Quantity of food items. So quantity that we have just now described, how to take it. Place, dish, that is, so a person, so wherever he lives, in which part of the country, he should eat whatever food is available in that part of the country, because it will be it's suiting to the climatic conditions also. So that should also be taken into consideration. Then seasonal changes. Kala, we have seen this in the session of Ritucharya, like how the seasons change, the food also changes. So like that. Then one who consumes food, upayukta. So the person who is eating that food, he should take into account what is the body constitution, what is the digestive fire, what is the nature of the doshas, dhatus, malas in his body, and likewise he should consume the food. And rules of diet, Upayoga Samsa, that we have described. Next slide, please. Yeah, then the dietary regimen, Ahar Vidhi. Again, try to remember this. Warm food, anxious food. Anxious means there should be some amount of oil in the food. Or food should never be oil-free or fat-free. Some kind of fat or oil should be there. The quantity may differ. Proper quantity of food. Eat when previous food is digested. Consumption of compatible foods. Favorable place and atmosphere. Avoid eating too slow or too fast. Avoid talking or laughing while eating, and eat only after due consideration of self. That means to be one with the food, like to concentrate on the food that we are eating. The whole body, mind and soul should focus on the food only to get the nutrients out of it, like that. Next slide, please. Now, incompatible foods, that is the Viruddha Ahar. Incompatible. So, two people, when they are not, what we say, two people are not compatible with each other, means what? Their nature does not match or something like that. It goes with the food also. There are some incompatible food combinations which don't go well with each other. So we must understand that, because if the incompatible food is eaten, then it leads to various kinds of disorders. So the food combinations, incompatible food combinations, it can cause poor digestion, disturbance of Agni, that is digestive fire, accumulation of Am, that is toxins, obstruction of the channels, that is strotas, vitiation of dhatus, that is tissues. So it can lead to different kinds of disorders. Next slide, please. Now, which are the list of incompatible foods? Remember in this way, the foods that don't go along with each other. Like there are some people who cannot go along with each other like this. So it will be easy to remember, that's why. So which are these combinations? So any sour substance with milk, any sour fruit with milk, fish with milk, radish with milk, horse gram or lentils with cow milk, drinking milk after consuming green leafy vegetables, chicken or non-vegetarian food with cheese, cheese with dates. Next slide. Meat with black gram, honey, milk and germinated grains, banana along with buttermilk, honey with wine of dates and sugar. Then heating honey, turmeric with mustard oil, ghee kept in bronze vessel for over 10 days should not be taken. So mixing of equal quantities of any 2, 3 or all of the following, like honey, ghee, meat fat, sesame oil and beverages, they should not be mixed together. So remember all these things. The more you read it or more you listen, you will remember it. Okay. Next slide, please. Favorable foods to balance Vata dosh. So Vata is cold and dry in nature. So warm, nourishing foods with oil are good to stabilize the imbalanced Vata. Just remember the qualities of Vata dosh, and then you will also automatically know how we can balance the Vata dosh. Then salty, sour and sweet taste in moderate amounts are good to balance the Vata dosh. Warm soups, stews and hot cereals are also good. Hot water or warm drinks are best. So drink hot herbal tea in the late afternoon. And these spices, cinnamon, cardamom, cumin, ginger, cloves, garlic, they are all preferable. All sweet and ripe fruits are good. So this is the principle of balancing Vata dosh. Next slide, please. Now, how do we balance the Pitta dosh? Now again, recollect and remember the qualities of Pitta dosh. So you will know this very well. The foods which are cold in potency. Then choose cool, refreshing drinks like mint, coriander juice, coconut, water, something that is liquid. Cow's ghee is best for Pitta imbalances. Like oil is best to balance Vata dosh, cow's ghee is best to balance Pitta dosh. Bitter, sweet and astringent tastes are advisable in moderate amounts. Herbal tea, especially mint or licorice root tea, are good for pacifying the Pitta dosh. Vegetarian foods in general are best for Pitta, because we know that the red meat or any meat generally, it is hot in nature and it increases the heat in the body. That's why vegetarian food is preferable. Next slide, please. Now, how do we balance the Kapha dosh? Again, remember the qualities of Kapha dosh. Warm, light and dry food is favorable to balance Kapha dosh, because Kapha dosh is cold, heavy and moist. That's why opposite to that, warm, light and dry food is favorable to balance kapha dosha. Then pungent, bitter and astringent tastes are good to balance kapha dosha. Using spices is advisable. Spices are good for kapha dosh people because kapha is cold in nature and spices are hot in nature. That's why spices may balance the kapha. Preferred spices are cumin, fenugreek, sesame seed and turmeric. Honey is the best remedy for kapha. Next slide, please. Now we move towards the types of Sadavritta. Now here the Sadavritta is explained in terms of these aspects: ethical conduct, social conduct, moral conduct, mental conduct and physical conduct. Next slide, please. So I think someone's mic is on, so please mute yourself. Pradnyaparad. So crimes against wisdom. Pradnyaparad is willfully ignoring one's inner knowing and going against the norms, intuition and common sense. This we have discussed. It is the root cause of many health problems. It involves verbal, mental or physical activities which are unfavorable to self and harm both the body and the mind. Actions generated by Pradnyaparad, they aggravate the three dosha, that is bodily humors, and stimulate the raja and tama, that is psychological attributes, allowing health issues to develop. So Pradnyaparad is something that we don't want. It should be avoided because it leads to different kinds of disorders. Next slide, please. Now we move towards the daily regimen, which we have discussed in the last session only, the Dinacharya. And what are the points that we have discussed? Anjan, that is eye care. Everybody remembers it. Gandush, that is the Ayurvedic mouthwash to hold the medicated oil decoction, anything in the mouth, to swish it around and just hold it. Nasya, nasal installation of drops. Udavartana, that is the power massage with Triphala powder that we have discussed in detail in last session. Next slide, please. Then the daily regimen involving physical exercises. We had discussed it for the Vata ones, Pitta ones, Kapha ones according to the constitution. Pranayam, breathing exercises and meditation. Next slide, please. Yes, now we move towards the last part, the Ritucharya, that is the seasonal regimen. So for winter season, Abhyanga, oil massage, because in winter season it is cold and dry outside. It will make the skin dry. That's why first thing is Abhyanga, oil massage with herbal oils to according to the specific dosha that is vitiated or according to the body constitution, to keep the skin moisturized and protected. It can be done under the supervision of a practitioner or you can do it on your own. Then Svedan, that is hot fermentation. It is like sauna. And the steam, herbal steam, it helps to remove the toxins, release the tension and helps with the circulation. It is good for keeping the body warm. And also hot fermentation with Patra Potali, Shashtishali, Pindasve. Body strength is maximum during Hemanta, that is early winter, and Shishir, that is extreme winter. And during winter, which are the taste of foods that should be eaten? They are sweet, sour, and salty. Next slide, please. Spring season. So in spring season, the regimen to be followed is, first is Nasya. Nasya means the nasal installation of drops. So it will help to clean out the respiratory system. And it also helps to clear out the excess mucus, and adding different kinds of herbal therapeutic oils into it. It helps to keep the nasal passage lubricated. Then Vamana. In the picture you can see Vaman means emesis therapy. So it is done with Vaman can be done when there is high level of kapha dosh, kapha imbalances. And Vaman involves loosening and mobilizing the toxins. Then body strength will be moderate during Vasanta, that is spring, and Sharad, that is autumn. Bitter, pungent, and astringent taste should be used more during spring season. Next slide, please. Now we move towards summer season. Again, Abhyanga, the season is drying, so again we need to keep the skin moisturized. Shirodhara, because it is very hot outside due to the sun rays. So Shirodhara will be relaxing, and it involves a steady stream of warm oil that is poured onto the forehead. And yeah, I think everyone must have experienced Shirodhara. It is really blissful, and it really is very calming and peaceful. So it helps for the chaotic state of the mind, that when the fire and air element they increase in excess, they can cause a chaotic state of mind, which can be taken care by Shirodhara. Body strength will be minimal during rainy season, Varsha, and summer season, Grishma. Sweet tasting food, Madhura Rasa, should be eaten more during summer. Next slide, please. Now, autumn season. So, in autumn season, there is a vitiation of Pitta dosh in the nature also, and in the body of the individuals. So, Virechan is best. Virechan purifies the body by removing the toxins through the gastrointestinal tract. This therapy is essentially a herbal laxative that clears out the digestive system. And body strength will be moderate during spring, Vasanta, and autumn, Sharad. Sweet, bitter, and astringent taste should be used during autumn. Yeah. So before the challenge activity, I would like to tell all of you is that this is a revision session, and I would like to share my own experience. I feel that, whenever we start learning all these things, or you may feel that it's too much or we are not getting it. It happens with everyone. When I started learning Ayurveda, I also felt the same, that this is, I think, difficult. I'm not getting it. But we have to perceive it more and more, work hard, read it more and more, ask questions, clear your doubts. And there will be a day when you will thank God that I always thank God that thank God I learned Ayurveda. Thank God I learned Siddha Ved. So that stage will come. But for that stage to come, you have to persevere, and you have to work hard. So don't give up. Whenever we see someone successful in Ayurveda, there is one very excellent shlok which says that Heta Virishe Phalenatu. When we see someone successful, so we see that this person is successful. See, he has got these things, and he has got how great he speaks, or how well he knows the shloks, or whatever. But we must always see what efforts that person has to reach there. There have been a lot of great efforts behind this to learn the shlokas, or to know on everything. So for this stage to come, remember that don't lose hope, don't give up, just go on and on. Clear all your doubts. Whatever is there, you can ask any of us. We are always there to help. But read it more and more, understand it more and more, and make use of this platform to its best, I think, level, and ask questions, whatever. And you will also be seeing that stage in your life when you will also know everything, and you will also thank God that thank God I have learned Ayurveda, or I am here in this field. So that stage will come into your life definitely, but just go on and on. That I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, because it's my own experience. And another thing is that a person who is a good student can always become a good teacher. That is also a thing that I have experienced. So if you are a good student, you can definitely become a good teacher. So thank you very much. And I hand it over to Cornelia for the challenge activity. Thank you so much.
Yes, you already saw the slide, what the challenge activities are for this actually summer that we are not meeting. And so we go back to read the theory part frequently, apply the knowledge in your daily life by using home remedies, making diet changes, etc. And then practice, practice, practice. And now we have like 2 months where we can really deep dive into all the knowledge that we have gained over the last 5.5 months.
Yes, Lisa said right. Review, 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 and then practice, practice, practice. That is what very important. Use this time, use this opportunity of like in next 2 months or holidays, wherever we meet our friends, contacts, relatives, families. Give some tips, whatever useful, wherever you think that something can be helpful in their life, not necessary herbs. And just to recommendation like a diet or a lifestyle change or maybe home remedy, there won't be any harm. By any chance, no benefit, but at least no harm. And if you are not sure, you can message to your mentor or in the group, like, is the situation, what can I do? And the best way is you mention, can I suggest this? Is it right? So that way you will get an idea and you will boost your confidence if things are going right way. Oh, yes. Oh, good. So please. Good. Wonderful. And we believe that this session people who are not able to attend this session lively, they are watching it, listening it, applying it. Good. Yes, now it's time for questions.
Yes, and we do have 2 raised hands. The first one is Andrea. Will you start, please?
Namaste, everyone. So my question is about oil gandush. It's been my pattern to do my oil pulling for 20 minutes and then neutralize my mouth and then brush my teeth. Is that excessive? Or should I be brushing my teeth first, then doing the oil pulling? Which one comes first? Oil pulling, then teeth brushing, or teeth brushing, then oil pulling?
I think that first brushing the teeth and then oil pulling, it will help so that the oil may remain, in the mouth and it will have its benefit. So after brushing the teeth, it's better.
So okay, thank you. So then here's my next question. Because once that oil sits in the mouth for 20 minutes, you have the concentration of bacteria in the mouth, right? Do I need to then neutralize that bacteria with, say, some kind of salt solution, or say baking soda to neutralize the bacteria, or it's enough to just leave the oil residue in my mouth?
You can just gargle it with warm water. That will also be helpful. And in itself, whatever decoction or anything what we are using for gandush, it has that property of antibacterial. So, but if you feel sticky in the mouth or to neutralize it, you can gargle with hot water or warm water after that by adding a little bit of turmeric into it. That will help.
Fantastic. Also, so I have another question. During the 100-day training, it had said that if a person has any infection in their body, they shouldn't do any oil pulling. Now, would that apply to canker sores in a person's mouth? If they have canker sores which are induced by stress, should they do oil pulling?
Yeah, that can be done. Actually, in oil pulling, the oil pulling is done by different things. Like there is a oil pulling by ghee, by oil, or with the decoction of herbs, or with honey. So if there is some wounds or sores in the mouth, the oil pulling can be done by honey, because honey is having the property of healing the wounds. So in this case, we can do it with honey, only honey, like that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Take care.
Thank you, Andrea, for your question, and Dr. Kamal for your great answers. Sena, you are next, and then Deborah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I have a couple of questions. One is about look at here, Natra Basti. Which herb do we use for that, which is for glaucoma? Natra Basti. Or is it Basti, which is the same as Basti for the eye?
Netra Basti.
You
Natra.
muted yourself, Dr. Kamal. You muted yourself.
Yeah, you are saying about Netra Basti, right?
Netra.
Basti for the
Okay, sorry.
eyes. Yeah,
Yeah, for
Netra
glaucoma.
Basti, yeah, Netra Basti we do. You're asking the procedure, right?
No, I want to know what is the herb that we use.
Yeah. So first, always to do with the JS tablet and milk
yes.
together.
The milk.
Milk.
Is it cow's milk or is it almond milk? Like which one?
Yeah, the almond milk is much better than the cow milk if available, and especially in Western countries is easy. In India, not so. May you use cow's milk, 25 ml. We take cow milk, or you can take mandal milk, almond milk, and 25 ml water.
35,
25 ml
water.
So total 50 ml, and then to take 2 tablets of JS.
Yes.
It's a tablet from Ayush Shakti. 2 tablets to take, to crush it, make a powder, fine powder, to add in this milk and water, and then to make it warm. And then again, it will become normal temperature, room temperature or down. When we think that it is okay now to put on the eyes, then to start doing the Netra Basti process.
Then do you put it like in a little dish and you open and close your eyes?
Yeah.
Or you put like a drop?
No, we put with the sponge. We put it a lot, like a direct pouring. And we have this video available on this portal.
Yes, I know, but if somebody is doing themselves, because there was a client.
So in that case, if somebody is doing by their own, then there is another way to do. So normally this Basti, Netra Basti cannot be done by own. Okay.
Yeah, but
for that somebody needs. But if there is no possibility, then there is a swimming glasses.
Yeah.
To wear it while swimming. So we can use those glass, put this liquid in this swim glass where we have the space to put some material, liquid, and then to wear it and to sleep it. Okay. So that is the another way. Normally, the Netra Basti is possible, and the right way to do someone else can. But this is the option.
And if somebody else is doing, we create that well and we just use a sponge.
Yes.
How long do we do this for? 20 minutes?
Yeah, normally 20 minutes. Yeah, but like maximum can be done 30 minutes. While doing Netra Basti, to remember one thing, that if by any chance, due to any reason, whether it's a climate or any reason, if person is suffering from the cold, cough, then to avoid doing Netra Basti.
Okay.
Normally in India, in our clinic, we do 3 rounds of putting this milk in, like in the well, and removing, then putting again, and then remove. Like we do like this 3 times. Putting inside, removing, then again putting, like this way. But can be done 5 to 6 times. So total altogether that many time we can use and the material. This is something in the beginning we do always for 7 days in the glaucoma. Your question was more specific, glaucoma people. So first 7 days to do Netra Basti with this JS tablets.
Yes.
Then we do Netra Basti with medicated growth, medicated ghee. So they are like a Chaksusya. Dr. Tushar or Dr. Komal, someone can please write in the chat box. Chaksusya growth, Triphala growth,
Oh, it's in the book, yeah?
no, it's not there in. So take this both of this, 10 ml of each. Chaksusya, Triphala, 10 ml of each, and to use them. And sometimes we add 10 ml Madhya growth, which helps in the nerves, which works as a nerve support. We take these 3 medicated growth, we warm up it, and then use for the Netra Basti.
So the first one, which was the JS, we use it only for 7 days, and the rest of it, for how many days do we use?
Yeah, this ghee, Netra Basti with the ghee, that is normally to do for 30 days, 1 full month, regular.
30 days. And with the others, with the other oils?
No, that they are together.
Oh, I see. I understand. Oh, you mix them together.
Mix them.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. My next question is about Matra Basti with an M.
Sorry?
Matra Basti.
Huh?
Matra.
Yeah, Matra Basti. What is the question? That I understood.
What is that? What is it? What is inside it?
Good question. So many various types of basti, different bastis, different use. But every basti has some protocol that this basti can be taken only this time or only that time, or for this we need to follow this diet plan or to take this medicine or this, where the Matra Basti has no protocol, can be taken anytime. It's a small basti. In this basti, we use 50 to 60 ml of liquid, mixture of oil and ghee. Depending on the concerns, what to achieve, like it is for what? If it is for arthritis, spondylitis, then we use those type of the ingredients, type like a ghee and oil. If something like a different purpose, skin purpose, we use those. If the autoimmune condition, we use the different ghee. If it is like depending what the purpose is.
I think this one was for removing blockage from the circulation, and yeah. These were the patients that came to see Dr. Smita when I was there, but there was no time to question. So I was just making note of.
Yeah, so normally it should be like, if you're the way you mentioned the details, there's blockages and this. So it should be Pachak, Mahatrifla and Mahatik. 20 ml of each. It should be like this, but still it is better to confirm there because there is a detailed history.
Yes.
The detailed medical history is written on the case paper. So maybe you can double check with Dr. Meera Soni, who can tell you more better.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, next one is Deborah. Can you unmute yourself?
Hey. Thank you, Dr. Kamal, for another very good lecture again. So my question is, now that I'm out there checking people's pulses and actually trying to take this knowledge and go into doing, it's actually creating more questions instead of less. But The first question I have is today you talked about the Prakriti. So you told us a wonderful picture of a Kapha person, what their personality would be like, what they look like. So I had a family and I checked their pulses and I expected to find Kapha. And and so when I checked their pulses, 2 of them I got Vata, Pitta, and 2 of them I got more Vata. And I didn't pick up Kapha except in the son that has serious health challenges and he had the tridosha. So I was so curious when we treat people, like when we look at their diet, if they have the Vikruti or the pulse that's more Vata at the time, even though they're basic, they look like they would be a Kapha person, what are we doing with their diet and their suggestions?
Super. Appreciate you. Great. Doing a lot practice and then the question comes. Nice. Normally we fix always work on the Vikruti, imbalances. So we should suggest the diet for the Vikruti to fix. Whichever dosa. The other things are just for the understanding the person's Prakriti. So we will give suggestion for the dosa which are imbalanced, Vikruti. Diet, lifestyle, home remedies, herbs, whatever.
Okay, one more question. So I noticed most people have Amma in that I have been checking. Of course, that's our lifestyle here in the United States. So what I've been doing for a gentle thing is I've been teaching everybody how to make mung bean soup. So I've been suggesting having mung bean once a day and then cutting out the dairy and the gluten, like simple. Or but Dr. Smith has said yesterday, it's good to give them a quick win and maybe have them do the 7-day detox, mung detox. Is the 7-day mung detox written up anywhere? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it is there somewhere. We will check it and we will share it. I don't exactly remember. We will share it otherwise. But that is the second step. The first step, what you are doing is exactly perfect. To begin with small baby step, just to reduce gluten and dairy and to start having some meals to include mung beans. Okay, not directly to jump on the 7 days mung bean soup. Yeah, it's already inspired and already motivated for, then that's a different story. But most of the time people are otherwise scared and then run away. They will not come back to us.
Okay. And at what point do you look at, or if somebody has a more serious health challenge, is that when you think about the 28-day detox, the healthy me detox?
Sorry, say again.
So the healthy me detox, is it always better to start them gentle or somebody's facing a more serious health challenge?
Oh, no. Yes. So somebody who is really motivated, who is already in, and yes, this detox, 28 days detox, healthy me detox is useful for most of us. Because if you look at the questionnaire in the first page given in the document, do you have or are you suffering from any of this? So most of the people have more than 5 a different condition which suits and says and confirms that you need 28 days the healthy me detox. But to follow the certain guidelines, diet guidelines for 28 days is not easy, especially for people working and doing a lot of responsibility. That's difficult. But when they are convinced, definitely it will be a big transformation. So need to give some time to see that they are convinced. Otherwise, just as you said, start with the small step, add some mung bean, reduce this dairy and wheat, then the second step, 7 days challenge, then to take them in the 28 days. So that will help them to see the differences and to continue the process for a longer time. Ayurveda is always for the root cause and for the deeper work. There's nothing symptomatic. And for that, it is very important that the people continue the process for at least 1 year. They just start and then, It shouldn't be like a straw fire. Like people start and then go away, run away. No, just out of curiosity, out of like something to excitement. Many times people coming and then start and then they are not actually like a convinced, but they are just impressed by pulse reading. They start and stop.
Okay.
We want to help the people from the deep root, and that's why it's step by step. Okay, it takes little time, not to jump directly on the detox.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good, welcome. Yes.
Thank you, Deborah. I actually also have a question today. Dr. Kamal, you were mentioning that the OJAS are actually immunity. I read somewhere that the OJAS is actually more or less the end product after the nutrients go through all the different tissues, and then after the shukra, actually the end product of that then would be the OJAS. Am I wrong with that? Or what is the connection between the OJAS here and then saying it's immunity?
Yeah, yes, you have read it right. That Oja is the essence of all the 7 tissues. From Rasa to Shukra, whatever the essence is, that is Oja. So that is right. And when we, what it does, what is the function of Oj is immunity. You know,
Okay.
so OJ is actually, we can correlate it with immunity. And how OJ is formed according to Ayurveda. What is the mode of production of Ayurveda? According to Ayurveda of OJAS is, it is the essence of all the 7 tissues. Rasa, Rakta, Mausa, Meda, Asti, Majja, and then Shukra, like that. So that is right, but its function is more related to immunity. So you have read it
Okay.
right? Yes.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up for me. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Hazar and then Susie.
Thank you. My question is for someone who has a Vata imbalance, where I understand the diet, sweet foods would be helpful, nourishing foods, dates and figs, those types of things. What if that person also has candida, a high level of candida, and H. pylori bacteria? Because in the West, with functional or integrative medicine, they will say, stay away from all sugar because that's feeding the candida and the bacteria. So how do you manage someone who needs the sweet and grounding foods, but doesn't want to feed bacteria?
Great, very good question. That is why we call that Ayurveda is a holistic approach. It's not a systematic approach like when with the normal doctor, the cardiac doctor will check only heart, skin doctor will check only skin, eye doctor will check only eye. Where at Ayurveda, we check the whole body, mind and emotions. And then based on that, we prepare the treatment plan, which should be helpful for many of these things, but not harmful for others. It's not that we try to balance one thing and fix one thing, but at the same time, we disturb something else. So here, even it is good, sweet fruit or sweet dish or sweet is good for Vata, we don't recommend because there is a possibility to get increased fungal. There is no control. So we recommend the food which is useful and absolutely perfect for the both condition, overall balance. And in that way, we find the middle way, what is good. So instead of the excessive sugar consumption, normally straight away we can say that no white sugar, but at the same time, other sugars, the option substitute sugars also in the limit, not excessively. And as a priority, if we understand through the talk or discussion that the fungal infection is severe, heavily, then we may need to tell that completely to stop. Even other substitute sugars are not allowed. First priority to clear the infection, fungal infection, and then we can work on the Vata later. always to fix the priorities, to see what is more important than the others.
Thank you. And in Ayurveda, what would be the way to fix the infection if it's a serious infection?
Good. So with the food, this home remedy, curcuma powder, which works to improve and strengthen the immunity. The infection always or most of the time comes in the situation of the weak immunity. Curcuma powder, turmeric powder. Along with that, there is a oil, Sodhan oil. Maybe with the Sodhan oil, one can do cleansing. Is available with the Ayush Shakti Sodhan oil. And the remedy wise, tablets wise, skin tonic, immuno, and Jivan Yoga.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yep, Susie?
I'm driving, so I'm not going to be looking into the phone. So I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, but I got to watch the road. This has been a wonderful class. The whole day has just been amazing. I'm so glad I was able to have reception. And my question is, so we have the digestive tea, the detox tea, and the immunity tea. Can you drink those three every day for the rest of your life? Or do you need to drink it like concentrated for like 3 months and then you only have to drink it for a few times during the week or once a week? Or how do we do the teas that way?
Good. So the main tea you mentioned, all these three can be taken together.
Okay.
These three different teas, digestive, detox, and immunity, all these three teas can be taken together. There is no contraindication. Okay. Yeah, if it is convenient, comfortable, possibility.
Okay. All right. So, and then the mung bean soup, the way I've been introducing it to people is like, you know, just do it for 7 days and see how you feel, and then do 7 more days, see how you feel. And if they want to do the 28 detox, I have found that it's really helpful to do that in a group situation like we've been doing. It's really hard to do it individually. That's what I've experienced with some of the people that I have introduced that to. And when they get the box, they're completely overwhelmed. They won't even, they'll open it, look at it, and like put it in a closet, and they're done. So being in a group is really helpful. And after you've done the 28 days, and you said it's really good to do the mung bean soup for a year, are you literally saying eat it every day for a year, or eat it for a week in a month for a year?
Yeah, completely agree with you that to do this detox in the group is such a motivating, good support to each other. It's a lot to do, and especially 28 days is such a long period. It's good to have someone in like a throughout journey along with. And after the detox also, it is always good, whether it's a 7 days work detox or the 28 days detox or the Panchkarma in Mumbai, any detox, after detox to continue. The mung detox is very important. Means once in a week, mung vegetable diet that day, to enjoy and to have only mung beans. Maybe mung bean means 2 types of mung bean, green and yellow. The yellow mung bean are like a very light to digest. So sometimes some people are coming up with the concern that after having mung bean, I am experiencing this gas, air, bloating. So for them, the without skin, yellow mung bean, yellow mung dal is good.
Okay.
And sure, once in a week to eat, to have only mung and vegetable for not only for 1 year, but for quite long time, it is good.
All right, so eating it once a day for long periods of time, and then going like in a month, doing 1 week just mung beans, and then the rest of the 3 weeks not going off too bad of a diet, but
Yeah.
Good
idea.
But if you're really sick, like you have a lot of toxins in your body,
Yeah.
it is really much better to really stick to at least starting off with 90 days of doing the mung bean soup every day, like to really get a good base started.
Yeah.
But is that a good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, I think I'm good.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Andrea.
Namaskar.
Good. Thank you. You asked the question that all three different teas can be taken together one after another. Yes, if it is possible and convenient, can be taken, but otherwise, practically, it is too much. Three different teas back to back. Maybe one of the tea, immunity tea, is good to take in the morning on empty stomach before breakfast. Then digestive tea is always good after food. Detox tea can be taken during the day anytime. So it is good to divide and to take the different time. And there is another question from Yasmin that can we use the different remedies same time for the different health issues? For example, can we take remedies for diabetes along with? Yes, for sure. Whatever the other remedies, regular remedies are on, that to continue them during the detox 28 days or 7 days or any like a type of the detox. Detox herbs are additional as to liquefy, melting, helping to remove those toxins from the body. But the herbs, the remedies which like any of us taking regularly, to continue them, not to stop or reduce. Yeah.
Okay, Deborah is next. And then Andrea again. She has another question. Deborah, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamal and Dr. Hemang. My question is just, is there any of the herbal remedies that would be dangerous to animals? So if you, the dog I'm looking at has a hyperactive mind. I haven't taken its pulse. And they're trying to train it to be a therapy dog. So we need to cure its mind. So my question is, any of our remedies would be dangerous for animals, specifically dogs?
No, any of this remedy, all of these remedies are safe, but for sure to use according to the situation, according to the requirement. So in this condition, normally we would recommend bliss.
What I thought too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Good.
Hi, Dr. Hemang. My question is concerning food combination, fruit in particular. We're told to eat fruit alone. Is it because fruit cleanses the body?
Yes. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah. We're told to eat fruit alone.
Fruit, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
fruit?
Yeah.
Is that because fruit cleanses the body? So we shouldn't combine it with, like, for instance, when I was a child, my parents never allowed me to eat fruit with the rest of the meal. I had to eat it before and wait and then eat my other, is it because the fruit cleanses the body?
Yeah, because the fruit that was told to you to eat initially, it is also according to the principles of Ayurveda to eat fruit first, because fruits are little heavier and difficult to digest. Even the sweet food is also to be taken initially in the food. Sweet dishes are not to be eaten at the last. It should be eaten at the starting because they are heavy, and after that the remaining food should be taken. So it is same with the fruits also. And the question regarding incompatible foods, why we are not combining fruit with milk, because it produces toxins in the body. The combination is very toxic to the body. That's why we are advising that. I hope.
Great. And is that why we're advised to eat the fruit in the morning or before noon and not in the evening? Did I get that correct?
Yeah, because after in the evening or at night, fruits contain sugar. Okay, so it may increase the kapha dosh, and in the night time, if you eat the fruit, after that we are sleeping, so it may increase the excessive, kapha dosh in the body. That's why the fruits are advised to be taken in the daytime only, rather than in the evening or night time, like that, because they are
Great.
heavy to digest.
Thank you so much. Great information. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Radu?
Hello everyone, Dr. Hemang, I would like to ask a question which came to my mind right now because I had a situation with two of my cats actually. How could, it's also referring to people, how could we approach a shot or a stop flag? So, none, I don't know if you understand. So
No,
if
I
there
haven't. Sorry. Yeah, please, can you repeat your question? Explain. Yeah.
How we approach a wound made by a gunshot or a knife. How could we approach that? For example, if there is a damage to internal organ. Is there a way to approach it by herbals only, or we have to intervene with surgery?
No, still I'm not getting. Yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Kamal or Cornelia, you understood the question?
I will repeat it. Just if we have a situation when somebody is shot, or if we have a situation when somebody is stabbed by a knife,
Yeah.
how could we approach this? Is there a way?
He is asking about wounds. How
wound means you are asking about the bleeding. You are asking
stabbing by the knife. Stabbing by the knife.
Or gunshot as well.
Yeah. So see, as depending on the injury, if it is a small, then maybe we can be helpful. Like sometimes, like some people get injury while cutting up the vegetable, fruits, or something small injury. Then maybe it's possible to heal it with a small home remedy. Small home remedy. It is just curcuma, turmeric powder, to apply on the cut part. So the bleeding will stop. The lot of a full handful, a teaspoon, the lot of turmeric powder to take and to put on the wound where the cut is happened, and then press it nicely, and in few minutes the bleeding should stop.
Thank you. Also, what happened in the situation if there is a perforation of gallbladder, actually the urinary bladder perforation?
Yeah.
What could we approach this kind of situation, or
no? It's a difficult perforation. It's an injury, big injury inside, internal.
Yeah.
And maybe in that case need additional different approach. Yeah, maybe this only with possibly need some major support as well. Depending on the perforation and that kind of things, we can give some symptomatic relief, temping support, maybe. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And one more thing about this. If the turmeric is mixed with ghee and applied to the wound,
No ghee.
would be good? No ghee.
Only turmeric powder. I think if Ilke is here or not. Ilke. She had a good experience with this in the last 1 or 2 weeks before. They said bleeding and and then she used this and she got the good result. Before applying this turmeric, she used some different approaches, something this and that, and was not helping. And it was like for a couple of hours happening, and then she used this turmeric. Immediately in 10 minutes, bleeding stopped. Otherwise, the bleeding was happening for hours. So bleeding,
Thank you
only
very much.
turmeric powder, curcuma powder, nothing else, just as a powder
Nothing
to
else.
put on the bleeding, wound.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hamam. Thank you.
Good, welcome. Good question, good thing.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Otherwise, okay, Renara, and then Deborah. Renara?
No. Hello, Dr. Mike. I have one question about the nitrobasti. When we put the tablet GS, have we to filter that because is it not very damaged for the eyes when we just crush and put in the milk, or we have really dissolved very good and to see that it's only liquid and after that to put in the eyes?
So normally to crush well, make a fine powder, not to it's get dissolved. It's not getting mixed with, but fine powder, yes, not a rough powder. Yeah.
So it means it's have to be really, really fine.
Fine.
I have to find
powder.
the possibility.
Yeah.
Because until now I couldn't know how I can do that to myself, and it was prescribed to me. Yeah,
maybe just to do with the milk, not necessarily you use these tablets and all. It's okay. Something is better than nothing. Start simple process, just using this iPad, the water pad, cotton pad, white pad, like people use for makeup.
Yeah.
Take them 2 iPads, white pad, dip in the almond milk, mandel milk, or if any milk, and put on the eyes and sleep for 10 minutes.
Okay, that is better than nothing. Exactly.
Exactly.
And I'm more secure. Yeah.
Simple process.
Thank you.
In this, just remember that not to warm up this milk, not to add water in this, not to heat, nothing. Just simple plain milk.
Okay. And second question, the Nasir, which we buy in Ayush Shakti, have we warm up at the beginning and after to put in the nose? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Good.
Okay, Deborah.
Okay, I have one more question. Since I'm finding Vata on so many people, and that was what we said was going on in the society, I'm really trying to understand this because Dr. Kamal said in her lecture today that we have to get Vata moving in the right direction. So I've been reviewing the Panchakarma videos, and of course we use a lot of Panchakarma treatments to move Vata, right? With the massage and all of that, and the bastis. But for somebody that's starting out and you see high Vata, besides the Vata diet, is there things we can recommend like oleation or different things we can recommend to help bring the Vata down or help move it in the right direction? Dr. Kamal, you're muted. I see your lips moving.
So to pacify the increased vata dosh, we advise oleation, that is oil massage, because oil is best. Then there is hot fermentation, Swedan, what we call, that is also recommended after doing the oil massage, the hot fermentation. And then basti, so the enema therapy, that is excellent therapy for pacifying the increased vata dosh. So basti is done with the decoction of herbs as well as basti with oil. So basti that we do along with decoction, that we call as Viruha basti, and basti that we do with oil, we call it as Anuvasan basti. So basti is also recommended. And of course, to pacify the increased vata dosh, which are the tastes that we will recommend? It is the sweet.
Is it the sweet,
sour,
salty, sour, and okay?
Yes, sweet,
Okay.
sour, and salty. And we should avoid eating which remaining three: bitter, astringent, and pungent.
Pungent.
So
Okay.
these are the things.
So if you can't do panchakarma on them at certain times, could you have them do self-oleation to help decrease the vata?
Yes, but that oleation, whenever the oil is to be used, it should be warm oil.
Warm
Tell them
oil.
to make it lukewarm and then only to use it. And then after that, do hot fermentation on the area. So it will help to decrease the increased vata dosh.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's the combination of the oil and the fermentation that bring the vata down, just
Yes.
not the oil.
Yes.
Yes, but as a
Oh.
baby step, again, something is better than nothing. Always to
Okay.
remember. So normal oil, then warm up in the morning when they wake up and then get up, they do the gentle massage. Maybe after hour or two, while taking the sour, they can take little sour with the little warm water. It's a Swedan. It's a heat. It's a fermentation. So it's a steam. So find the practical way. What is possible in this today's time? Everyone is busy. So do gentle massage in the morning. Now, if possible, there is a specific oil available for the vata people, vata person, some vataka, some vatak oil. Warm up it and to do massage. That is best way. If not available, not possible to find this some vatak oil, maybe just to oil like a sesame oil. To warm and then do massage, and then after 1 or 2 hours to take the shower with a little warm water. Second option, at the night before going to bed, if possible, 1 teaspoon vaka oil, which is for vata balancing. If not possible, just castor oil, medicated castor oil, purified castor oil. Just simple castor oil to take 1 teaspoon with warm water before going to bed. These are also very useful remedies, home remedies to balance the vata, to bring vata down.
Okay.
Good question.
That's very
This
useful.
must be
Thank you.
also helpful, like works as a this oil. To take this oil works as a basti.
Are you talking about the Sambhakta oil as a basti?
No. Some vatak oil to apply on the body for
On the skin,
massage,
yeah.
and vaka oil or
Ba-
vaka. It's written on the, like chat box, I think, in the vaka oil or castor oil.
Okay.
Okay, so castor oil is one of the main ingredient of vaka oil. Vaka oil is not only castor oil, but one of the main ingredient of vaka oil is a castor oil. Okay,
That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
good, welcome, nice.
Okay, do we have time for one more question? Heather has her hand up.
Yes.
Thank you. This
Heather?
is just a follow-up question. I had heard if someone has a lot of toxins in them, that the oil massage may not be good for someone with toxins. Can you talk to that, please?
Yeah, toxins means which toxins, depending on. If they are the skin toxin, then we can use the different oil. If they are the toxins, vata, then they're different. If the kapha type of then we use the different oil. But Oil massage are helpful to melting, dissolving, helping to lubricating the channels inside and outside. So for that, oil massage is required, but depending on which oil and when. So now people who already visited or done the Panchakarma in the past, they know at Ayush Shakti we do first Siddha massage and dry pind swed. Siddha massage means there is a herbal paste massage on the body, and the dry pind swed means bolus, the herbal potli, herbal bolus, and to do hot fermentation on the body. So this treatment is useful. These two treatments, the massage with herbal paste and the hot fermentation with the herbal bolus, these treatment are useful to melting, liquefying, dissolving the toxins, because toxins are not at one place readily available to remove from the body. So first we need to get separated from the tissues. They are stuck, blocked, deposited in the tissues along with. So first, through this process, through this treatment, this Siddha massage and the dry pind swed, these two treatments are helpful to get separated them. Then we use the oil massage to bring them from the different part of the body to the colon. It takes 4 to 5 days process, and then on particular day when we see that yes, now the most of the toxins are there in the colon readily available to go out, then we do the Virechan program. Means Virechan process means diarrhea, loose motion, to remove all the toxins through the bowel, Manidar area. So that's the way we do.
If someone isn't able to do Panchakarma yet, is it safe for them to do a daily oil massage if they have a lot of toxins?
Depending on the condition for which he or she has a problem, of which problem. So it cannot be generalized. In some cases, yes, we can say yes to do massage, and some cases we say no.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, I guess these are all the questions. There's no hand raised anymore.
Good. Nice. Next Saturday, again, we will have a special session. In this session, we all will together helping each other and solving our all assessments. So we will complete all assessments online with the help of each other, and through discussion and sharing. And if any questions, you can ask why this answer, why it's not this answer. And normally, until now, we have kept the examiner away from all of you. The doctor who is always like this preparing, removing these questions, exam paper for all of us. Maybe only 1 or 2 people have met him personally when you were there in India, but most of you never met. So next session, that doctor will be there, who is removing the questions, exams for us for every session. Because not to get influence, we are keeping him away, distant. So next week, next Saturday, again the same time, we will we will meet and talk. And before that, just a question. I don't know if it is required, necessary or not, but just a question. To use this 2 months holiday vacation, Dr. Komal has offered us that if we want, then she wants to repeat each and every session for all of us every Saturday. But provided there won't be any recording, only the live, one thing. And second thing, if there will be like at least 20-25 people then. So by any chance, if it is necessary, if any of us thinking that, yeah, it's still not getting understanding, it's tough, difficult to this, one more chance to revise everything session by session. So if we want, if we need to show us our interest that yes, we need, and it will be mostly, we will try to finish in the 45 minutes or 1 hour. No recording, only live. People who wants to attend, but live. So just maybe Cornelia, can we do something to understand the number of interest?
Yeah, I mean, we can do a general interest, or what we can also do is that we have like a Google form, and we have all sessions that we had so far with all the topics, and maybe people can then tick off the ones that they are interested in, and then we can see what is clear and where they need help, and then decide on based on that.
Super.
That could be a way to do it.
You are great. A great idea. So maybe we'll share this with the team and all of us, and then we'll see if we'll have the enough numbers. So Dr. Kamal needs also motivation. Some people, like not only 5 people and me and Dr. Kamal and Cornelia, 3 of us talking. So at least Dr. Kamal have like a couple of people, she will take. She has offered. Thank you, Dr. Kamal, for offering this great time of you. Thank you very much. All nice. Thank you, Cornelia. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We love you.
everyone.
We with you.
Namaste.
Yeah,
Namaste.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Love you. With you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I
Thank
love you
you.
all. Bye.
Dr. Kamal. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Hi,
Thank
Sissy. Hi, David. Hi, Arati.